Hi everybody, Bob with Knivestown here. Today we're going to take a look at a tactical knife. This is a tops knife, and this particular knife was designed by Mikkel Hawk, and he's designed it to be, in his opinion anyway, the ultimate survival knife. Now, as you probably know, there are as many different opinions about what makes an ultimate survival knife as there are survival knives. There's no shortage of opinions out there, but this one certainly does have a lot going for it, and we'll take a look at that. It comes in a ballistic nylon sheath, which is the common one that these tops knives come in. It comes with dual straps here in order to retain the knife. Get a close-up on it for you. Those are Velcro straps. There's a sort of a wider one and a narrow one there. It opens there and opens there. We'll look at the knife in just a second. Those don't rotate or turn or anything, but they are good, sturdy, and well-made Velcro. It does come with a dangle or rather I should say a belt loop portion right there at the top. It does come with these. This can unsnap here at this end, right there, and then unthread through the straps. It can be worn on a MOLLE compliant gear, or you can just wear it through a belt, wear it horizontally on a belt like that. Certainly, obviously, you can wear it at the hip, and it would be tied down with a length of paracord that comes with it that's threaded through there. So lots of different carry options. Like I say, it's a good thick ballistic nylon. It also comes with a pocket on the front that's closed with a snap lock here, like that, and that lock can be adjusted. With this here, you can make it adjust it to wider or narrower as you wish, depending on how much you're going to put in the pocket. In the pocket there is an elastic band, an elastic strap, which holds the mouth of the pocket closed. That helps to retain whatever you have in there. Inside the pocket is delivered a tops emergency whistle. These are very loud. It's a very shrill, piercing sound. Really, the sound travels a great distance, and it's a very effective little whistle. That comes with the knife in the pouch, and the pouch, obviously you can put a multi-tool, a sharpening stone, a whistle, a fire starter, different types of things in there, and it secures with a snap lock. So it's a pretty good system there. It does come with a plastic insert here, and the knife, it is not proprietary. In other words, the knife can be inserted either way. It doesn't matter, whichever you're left-handed, right-handed, or however in a pinch you're putting your knife into your sheath. Very versatile, very tough. And I love these sheaths from Tops. They put a lot of thought into them, and I think they do a great job. Great job with them. Okay, let's get to the knife. There's the profile of the knife, and we'll go through some of the features of this knife. The specs are that's a 9-inch blade. 9-inch blade made of 5160 steel at a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58. That steel is 3/16 of an inch thick. So you've certainly got a good thickness of steel there to depend on. You can see that. You can see the black traction coating that comes on the blade. And that black traction coating, it does protect the blade. The 5160 is prone to corrosion if the air and moisture get to it, so the black traction coating protects it from that. Otherwise, you will want to, protect the exposed edges with a dry lube like Sentry or or just any kind of a lube. Just giving you an overall view of that blade there. It's a good stock thickness, so that's a good sturdy strong blade. The grind begins about halfway down, flat grind, so it's a strong grind, and it's got an interesting tip there that we'll talk about. You can see it does have saw teeth on the back for notching. Remember, this is a survival knife, and some of the things that that the designer tried to build into this knife are so that really the point of this knife is that if you could only carry one tool, one knife, what would it be? And so they tried to combine the best elements of all of those tools that you would wish you had. You would wish that you had a smaller knife for smaller whittling and smaller chores. You would wish that you had a larger knife, like a machete, for hacking and chopping. You would wish that you would have some sort of a trail knife for batoning and clearing and things like that. The purpose of this knife is to try to combine those elements all into one knife that will effectively serve, maybe not as well as each of those individual specialized types of tools would by themselves, but well enough that with one implement, with one tool, this one, you would be able to handle all those chores. And really, that's the definition of a survival knife. So taking a look at it, the handle is made of micarta. That's a linen micarta, and it is that's a material that is good for your hand, doesn't cause any kinds of hot spots on your hand because of the shape. It's rounded and chamfered everywhere, so it's comfortable in the hand, and when it gets wet, it actually gets grippier. The handle does have a finger groove here, so your hold, your grip is intensified when you're doing chopping like that. It does come with a fired bow drill socket, and as you know, that's if you're if you're making starting a fire using the bow drill method, then this part would be on the top. You would hold that on the top, and then you would have the stick, and then you would have the bow that's spinning it down into the tinder down there, and you would be pressing it like that. So it's got that. The handle does have a hammering piece. The hammering piece is down here at the end there. So this could be used in a hammering type of a style. This point is said to be for poking holes in shells or eggs to extract the internals, or for making holes in things in a tool making process. You'll notice there is a double lanyard hole affixed for left or right or dual use. Okay, the hand guards, they are there for obviously for guarding the hands, but also for catching brush and twigs as you're hacking through a trail or hacking through brush. That is to help catch the brush and the twigs. There's a flat spot up here, which could be again used for further hammering in this way, or it can be used as a push area for pushing, whittling, shaving, using it as a form of a draw knife. There is notching at the top there. That's for sawing, notching, making lengths of wood to the length that you need. You'll notice that there is a little bit of a recurve here And that's intentional, of course. That the idea behind this, according to the designer, is so that this part here is good for the whittling, the whittling portion. As you're creating tinder, you are creating a fire starter and tinder to get your fire going. You need to have small shavings. That's what this portion here is for. The larger portion back here, now that's for the hacking, the chopping. And the idea here is that you've got a 9-inch blade and a 5-inch handle, which they claim scientifically they've proven to be the ideal combination of measurement, which is the best compromise between having the power for hacking and yet having the control for the finer work. And that's why those lengths have been chosen. The tip is an interesting tip. I mean, it's designed for troughing, digging, scraping, troughing out of wood, creating bowls. Okay, the sharpness. Now you can see. Take a look here. It is sharpened on both sides. This is the underside, and that, of course, obviously the entire length is sharpened. And then you have this tanto, and then you have this top side, which also is sharpened. Now, one thing I want to say about that, when I say sharpened and sharp, I do mean two different things. This right here, this front upward tanto, and then the entire bottom of the blade, that is a sharp knife. That is knife sharp. Up here, however, look, see, look what I'm doing. Now it's been sharpened, but it's not sharp. Okay, and the idea here is that if you damage your primary blade down here, you have this on the top as a backup blade. And like I say, it's been sharpened, but I wouldn't call it sharp. Although it's 8/10 of the way there. It would only take just a few strokes with a hone in order to bring this part up into up to the speed of this down here. So if you are working and perhaps maybe this gets chipped or damaged or something, now you sharpen this and you've got that up there. Or you could just sharpen it right from the get-go and you've got a double-edged knife. In that case, when you have an incising knife, where you would insert the knife and you can make cuts like this, just moving the knife up and down without having to reverse the turn of the knife as if there was a blade only on one side, cutting and then turning it around and cutting up and then turning it around and cutting down again. So you would be able to incise with it, meaning push in and just cut up and down because it's double-edged. So there's different ways of using that. A lot of thought's gone into this knife, and I'll see if I can give you the close-up there. There's the author's name, designer's name, Mikkel Hawk. It's a good looking knife and it balances well. It may have a bit of an odd look, but I would encourage you to get past that because it really does have some things to offer. Think about it. It does have a good hacking potential. It does have a good notching potential here for this side notching for whittling, for making traps, you know, whittling fish hooks, things like that. And then hacking along here, because you've got the 9 inches, which is, you know, that's a good length to drive against the brush with. You've got a micarta handle, 5-inch micarta handle, which is a good handful. It gives you a good finger groove too. And when that gets wet, it just gets grippier, really. You've got a double lanyard hole. You've got 2 hammers. You've got a saw. You've got a you know, a piercing tool back here. That's a good knife. I would give this high marks. It comes with an excellent sheath. Tops always makes great sheaths. I love them. There you go. That's the Tops Hellion Elite. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.